When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. Talent is extremely important. It's like a sports team. The team that has the best individual player will often win, but then there's a multiplier from how those players work together and the strategy they employ. Some people don't like change, but you need to embrace change if the alternative is a disaster. Really pay attention to negative feedback and solicit it, particularly from friends. Hardly anyone does that, and it's incredibly helpful. I think it's very important to have a feedback loop, where you're constantly thinking about what you've done and how you could be doing it better. If you're co-founder or CEO, you have to do all kinds of tasks you might not want to do. If you don't do your chores, the company won't succeed. No task is too menial. Brand is just a perception, and perception will match reality over time. Sometimes it will be ahead, other times it will be behind. But brand is simply a collective impression some have about a product. I always invest my own money in the companies that I create. I don't believe in the whole thing of just using other people's money. I don't think that's right. I'm not going to ask other people to invest in something if I'm not prepared to do so myself. It is a mistake to hire huge numbers of people to get a complicated job done. Numbers will never compensate for talent in getting the right answer. Two people who don't know something or know better than one will tend to slow down progress, and will make the task incredibly expensive. Starting and growing a business is as much about the innovation, drive, and determination of the people behind it as the product they sell. A company is a group organized to create a product or service, and it is only as good as its people and how excited they are about creating. I do want to recognize a ton of super talented people. I just happen to be the face of the companies. People work better when they know what the goal is and why. It is important that people look forward to coming to work in the morning and enjoy working. If you're trying to create a company, it's like baking a cake. You have to have all the ingredients in the right proportion. My biggest mistake is probably weighing too much on someone's talent and not someone's personality. I think it matters whether someone has a good heart. When somebody has a breakthrough innovation, it is rarely one little thing. Very rarely is it one little thing. It's usually a whole bunch of things that collectively amount to a huge innovation. There are really two things that have to occur in order for new technology to be affordable to the mass market. One is you need economies of scale. The other is you need to iterate on the design. You need to go through a few versions. If you get up in the morning and think the future is going to be better, it is a bright day. Otherwise, it's not. If something has to be designed and invented, and you have to figure out how to ensure that the value of the thing you create is greater than the cost of the inputs, then that is probably my core skill. I think the best way to attract venture capital is to try and come up with a demonstration of whatever product or service it is and ideally take that as far as you can. Just see if you can sell that to real customers and start generating some. I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right. Life is too short for long-term grudges. I'm not sure looking at competitors really helps. It's sort of like the old adage of running. If you start looking at the other runners, it's not good, you know. Life can't be just about solving problems. There have to be things that are exciting and inspiring that make you glad to be alive. I do think there is a lot of potential if you have a compelling product and people are willing to pay a premium for that.